Hi folks, I thought I'd make a quick video and I'm going to only use the screen for this video because I'd like to show you the spreadsheet that I'm using, and that way if you want to track what you read each year by month, year, date, however you want to track, you can kind of see the spreadsheet in action. I am not the creator of this spreadsheet. I am just a happy user. So I am going to show you the creator page. If I go to the credits page, it tells you right here that it was created by Brock Roberts, and these were the other people who had input on the spreadsheet itself. So that's where all the credit goes to, right here, Brock Roberts. Well, Brock has been I'm just going to hide this page because I don't use it in my everyday use. I'm just putting the word hide so that my book survey is on top. Brock updates this spreadsheet every single year, usually around the very last part of December, the 30th or the 31st of the end at the end of the year. And he maintains it, and we as readers, we get to use it, especially if we tend to be prolific readers. I am not a contributor to the spreadsheet, but there is a suggestion I have for Brock, so I will be sending him a message. I would like the reviewed column, which is right here on the left, and I don't know if I can make the screen the reviewed column A for me right now anyway. I would like it to have 4 things in it: yes, no, planned, and draft. And the reason why I want those added is because, like, for example, you see under the word read, if I tap that, it brings me to read, reread, DNF, currently reading, returned unread. The way Brock has cleverly designed the spreadsheet is everything gets tabulated into a summary page. It also gets tabulated into charts, and I will probably show you that as I get to the end of this. So right now, if you look under his categories page, and we're going to open up another page that I don't use regularly. If I look here somewhere, see, he has a review column, yes, no, plan, but I want the word draft added. Let's just say for the sake of memory, I add it right now. These don't mean anything. I don't know why they're there. So I didn't save it. So he doesn't have this incorporated in the tables, and I do not do formulas or tables with spreadsheets. One of these days I plan on taking a class, but for now I am benefiting from his excellent expertise. So just like I closed the credits page, I'm going to hide or close the categories page. So what I've been doing over the course of the year is trying to get caught up on my reviews. I would love to be one for one when it comes to writing book reviews, but I just can't do it. I get distracted, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Now, as you look at this page here, I'm in my January. You'll see the word no and what without being highlighted, and then yellow saying yes. If it's the word no, most likely 99% of the time, these were library books, and as they were library books, I did not need to review them. There are times when I do series reviews where I will review 4 or 5 library books in one broad post, but in the case of where you see the word no, I haven't done it. And I didn't mean to shrink that, so I just wanted to show you one other thing, what I mean. I think right around here, yes, on this status part of my status page, it shows you that I have borrowed 67 books from the library this year in 2025. So of those 60, and actually I think I have 6. I'll show you that in a moment. Of the 67 library books that I have read this year, they're right here tabulated. 250 ARCs, 1 gift, 7 purchase. And purchase means that I got them by means of Kindle Unlimited, and since I am paying for that subscription, I have referred to that as purchased. So I'd love to see if Brock could just change this so that we can it can be tabulated, and I'm sure he'll consider it. So over here I have my publisher, my genre, my page count, my rating, my publication year, etc. Whether it's an ARC or, like I said, library. Or in this case, I have purchased because it was a Kindle Unlimited. And here, this is interesting. Here I have library for this one. I think, but it looks like I reviewed it. So there had to be a reason that I reviewed it, but that's just a personal choice. And then, of course, these are ARCs. And then, but in most cases, for 2025 anyway, I'm not reviewing my library books. Up until this year, I was reading and reviewing everything. But for this year, because of how much I have been getting done, I've chosen not to review a lot of the library books. Now here, this is an ARC, and I want to see why it says, I don't know. Oh, I know. I haven't written a review. It shouldn't be no. And I'm going to tell you what it should be. It should be planned. So that's a mistake. And we're going to change that fill color to a shade of yellow so I know that, okay. So before I let go is indeed an ARC, so that needs to be yellow. Okay. That's the thing about spreadsheets and technology, and you can just change everything by a click of a button. So I'm tracking March. I did have 2 DNFs in March, Girl Anonymous by Christina Dodd and Kills Well with Others by Deanna Rayborn. As you see, I've X'd them out so that I know that they were DNFs. And I hate that I had to DNF Kills Well with Others because I did read the first book in the series, and Deanna Rayborn is a favorite of mine, but I chose to DNF that. And then I get through March. April is looking good. May is looking good. June, July, and July, I'm sorry, let me go back. I wanted to read Linda Castillo's entire Kate Burkholder series. So I did from July 19th until, I would say, July 29th. Over the course of 10 days, I did read all 17 books in that series. Of that series, some were ARCs. 42 here, which is number 12, number 13, 13.5, 14, 16, and 17. They were all NetGalley titles, so I did review those individually on NetGalley so that they are also individually reviewed on my blog. August, I think I got Permission to Feel. I got that as I got the first book, which is Dealing with Feeling by Dr. Mark Brackett. So because I got Permission to Feel as a book for review, as I got, getting this backwards. Okay, I got Dr. Brackett's book for review. And because I got it for review, I decided to read the first book, and that's why it says no there. So I got that, and I actually bought that from there's a website where you can buy books at a very nominal cost, but I did buy that, so I have both of Mark Brackett's books. And then when we get to September, again, it's clear here. It says The Accidental Christmas, and I did review that. Why am I saying no? And I can show you what I mean when I said I did review that. If I were to go to my blog page and we look at upcoming reviews for this blog, The Accidental Christmas comes out on November 4th, so that's when it's going to go live. So that's why I made that correction. I have a few other ones that will go live. This one tomorrow, Green Pastures. On the 26th, My Daughter's Baby. The 28th, Julia's Song is Undateable. The 31st, Life Begins at Cornish Cottage. And for February 3rd, I have Stolen in Death. Now, if you notice, there's no tags for The Accidental Christmas and for Stolen in Death. And the reason I did not put tags on those 2 upcoming reviews is sometimes when I go and I look back at a review, I realize I could have said something better or phrased something better. So I'm not going to tag those until I'm absolutely sure that this is the review. For example, Stolen in Depth. Is this the review that I want to post? Okay? And obviously it's no, because you see these spaces right here? This tells me that this is nothing but a draft. So I will be going back and clearing that up. And that's just a reminder for me. It means absolutely nothing in the scheme of what I'm trying to say with this video. So for right now, my blog archive for 2025 is 262 reviews. And yes, this video is about numbers because I'm a numbers person. I have a huge hang up when it comes to being absolutely organized about everything. That's just the way I've always been. And so when I started reviewing back in 2018, I started reviewing, I'm sorry, let's open that up. If we look at 2018, for example, the first one there, it's going in chronological order backwards. So those are my December reviews. There's my November, October, etc. And then so for each month, the blog itself is tracking it. I'm not tracking it. This is the blogger. And when I say blogger, I mean blogger.com. So let's just put the whole, Blogspot. Whoops, there we go. Blogspot.com. That's what's making this nice and efficient list so that I know how many books I have reviewed on this blog. And this blog is Robin Loves Reading. So if I were to bring it to the home page, and yes, I designed this blog by means of the features in the blog. If I tap home again, it didn't do it that time. It brings me to current, which is Thursday, October 16th, which was yesterday. My review for The Son-in-Law by Ellie Monaco, which is right here. And I added different HTML codes and things of that nature. What am I doing on Goodreads? What am I doing in my reading challenges? What are some of the thoughts on the books that I have read? For example, I did rate Billion Dollar Ransom, but I did not review it because, as mentioned, it's a library book. I don't think I got that far in this video yet, but that's a library book. So I do have extra things on my page so that you can see the status of what I have been doing. So if we close October, for this month, you can see I have done 13 reviews. Last month I did 53. I played catch up last month. I cleaned up my backlog of written reviews. So as we go back to Brock's spreadsheet, you can see, like, if I need to make a correction when I'm making the video, I will. Now here we see Smuggler's Cove. It wasn't a Neck Alley book, but I chose to review it, so I have the word net. Yes. Okay, so that's just, sometimes I will review a library book. For this book, Brain Boost 365 Brain Games for Adults, I use the tag returned unread, even though I put in a Neck Alley review for it. And the reason why is because I only did some of the puzzles in the books, so therefore I could not claim a page count. And when I say a page count, here's the pages, the number of pages in each book. And because I did not actually read Brain Boost, just for the sake of record keeping, I put returned unread because I have to be 100% clear and consistent. And now we're into the month of October. So for October so far, it looks like I have read, my count is off here. I have read 23 books. Sometimes if I change my order of things, so I moved these books. I just have to clean this up. Just give me 1 second. I don't like okay. The reason that was out of order, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and so on, is because I decided to move The Woman Downstairs, What Have You Done, C is for Courting, Run for Your Life, before I read At Death's Door. at this dough was, if we undo it, you can see that at this dough I had it as 24. Where's October? Yeah, I had it that still at 24 because I was going to read that just a little while ago, but I changed my mind and moved it above, moved other titles in front of it, so now they are in numerical order as to how I plan on reading them. And as far as trying to be really present with my reviews, I literally have these two drafts. I think I have one plan. No, that's it. I have two drafts left for September. I have one planned for earlier this month, another one for last week, and three drafts that are yet to be done. And when I say draft versus planned, is most of the review is written versus I need to write the review. And that's where I would love Brock to adapt the spreadsheet to include those 4 words. And again, they are yes, no, planned, and draft. And that way they'll go onto the summary page. I have $1 Billion Ransom and Sleep in Heavenly Pizza right here, which were my previous 2 books, but I chose not to review them as they are library books, and that should show over here. And sometimes I have to fill in the missing stuff. That's a library book. It's a digital. That was an audio book, and you can see how I do this. But now let's see if I'm doing this. If I wanted to just fill in something that I know is a fill-in, that's novel. Now, The Woman Downstairs is not by a female author. It's J.D. Kirk. He's a male author, but these are female. That's female. Sleep in Heavenly Peace was the United States. And it's adult, new publisher. We'll just copy that over. And we'll just put that here as well. Since I'm not down to, let's clean this up. Run for Her Life would be the United Kingdom. And Ruhi Chaudhry is a male author with a male protagonist, so those would go as male. The Woman Downstairs is a male author, but the protagonist is female, so that's the difference there. And then I would just grab things that I know are consistent with format and put them there. I know that at least these next 5 will be uncorrected proofs, so if I put that there, then I know that's kind of where I am right now. We can do a little bit more. Okay, and these are going to be arcs. So we put that there. Whoops. And then these also are 2025 books. And now you see that for The Woman Downstairs by J.D. Kirk, started today on the 17th. I'm currently reading it. The publisher is Bookouture. The category not filled in is a psychological thriller, such as is What Have You Done? Let's clean this up. This is inspirational, and this is psychological thriller. Okay, just wanted to clean that up. I didn't get the page count for Sia's Recording or Run for Her Life yet, but for The Woman Downstairs, it's a 309-page book. Quite naturally, it has not yet been reviewed because I haven't finished it. It came out this year as an advanced reader copy for me, digital, uncorrected proof, novel, male author, female protagonist. Actually, The Woman Downstairs takes place in the UK, so let me correct that. Adult, new, none, and publisher for those categories. What I love about Brock's spreadsheet, and the reason I'm making this video, is so that hopefully if you want to be organized with your ARC journey with NetGalley, you can go ahead and get this spreadsheet yourself at the end of the year. So if I go over to the summary page, anywhere there's a drop down symbol there, you see that anywhere there's a drop down symbol, it brings up a list. Okay, so because of the way that the formulas were designed in the spreadsheet, if I go over to my summary page, everything tabulates. So if you ever hear me talking about numbers, whether number of books, numbers of pages, whether it's talking about averages, it comes from this page here. I don't know if I would have been so keen on numbers if I didn't have the benefit of using this wonderfully detailed spreadsheet, which, as I mentioned, was created by Brock, but it had a lot of contributors. That looks like about 15 or 20 contributors. So because of all of their hard work, I'm not going to delete it. I almost deleted that. I'm going to hide that. Because of all of their hard work, I can track everything that I'm doing. Currently read 322 new books, 404 rereads, 2 DNFs, and I'm currently reading 1. 2 were physical, 324 were digital. And this not only tracks I don't think I tracked my hours yet. I have to do that. I compare this part right here. I'm talking about hours of reading. I prepare this by coinciding with the Bookly app. Okay, so the Bookly app says here for $1 Billion Ransom that I read it in 4 hours and 6 minutes. It was 386 pages. I averaged 94.1 pages an hour for that particular book. It's not that way for every book, because for Green Pastures, it was a 336 page book, but it took me 4 hours and 11 minutes, and I read an average of 80.3 pages an hour. So I take that information and I stick it over. Whoops, I went to the wrong tab. Let me show you where I put it. It has a place in Brock's spreadsheet. If we go back to book survey, and I think it's under here. So you see I have to add in the hours for 3 books in September, and I haven't added in these numbers here anywhere for the month of October. And I'm not too worried about it because they're all over here in the Bookly app. This one, sometimes I read slow, sometimes I read fast. A 376 page book, and it took me 5 hours and 23 minutes to read, which was an average of 70 pages an hour. So it just depends on the book. Let's just look at 1 or 2 more. This one here. This was so quick. To Win Her Hand by Melissa Addy. It was a Kindle book, so I think I got it from Kindle Unlimited, if I'm not mistaken. It was a review title, but it had expired. So because I was able to get it from Kindle Unlimited, and I was able to go up to 4 speed with immersion reading, not just listening with my ears, but listening with my ears, reading with my eyeballs. And because I was immersion reading To Win Her Hand, I read this book at 172 pages per hour. So this 249 page book only took me an hour and a half. I don't always do immersion reading, but because I was trying to get through my backlog of 25 books, I needed to read it. Found out that it was Kindle Unlimited, so I could use, and I'm just going to show you exactly what I mean, just so that you know. If we go find the Kindle app, where's Kindle? If we go to the Kindle app and we close this, whoops, we don't want to close that. Here's the library. So, for example, these 2 books, What Have You Done by Nicole Trope. I don't know if I can't make that any bigger. And The Woman Downstairs by J.D. Kirk. These 2 books expired in the NetGalley app, so I got them from Kindle Unlimited. So if I wanted to do easy immersion reading with this book, What Have You Done, I would simply just tap the screen. I have to just make it's not set for some reason this is not set for assisted. It says it is set for assisted reading, but I don't know why it's not doing it. Oh, there it is. I had the screen down too low. So you see the play button. If I hit the play button and I do immersion reading, and if I can go up to 3.5 speed, not 4 speed. So but I'm going to just leave that because I'm not doing that on this device. I'm doing it on a different device. So it just depends on the book. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, 292 pages that I read in 3 hours and 1 minute, which was 97 pages a minute. I don't think I really have read any fantasy or anything like that this year, but I have read a couple of memoirs. And so when I do a memoir or a nonfiction, if I see one, I'll bring it up. Oh, I think this might just be showing unread books. No, okay, so I'm going to hide unfinished books. Okay, I just want to take it out of grid format. So every now and again, I will read a book that is not fiction. And if I do read a fiction title, which I don't have many for this year, okay, like for example, Ken Follett. This is a 700 plus page book that is historical fiction. This will not be read at some super fast speed. So I'm just reading a little bit of that each time. But okay, so we have Dealing with Feeling and Permission to Feel. Okay, they were non-fiction memoir books. So I may immersion read with them, but I don't try to read them fast because I'm trying to use it for an educational purpose for myself. I'm not saying I don't educate myself with all of these books because, here's another one, Lin-Manuel Miranda. This is a memoir of him. He's behind some of the songs like Hamilton. He starred in it, he wrote in it, he played it. He's done other ones. I don't think he wrote Hamilton. I think he might have wrote the screenplay for it. And then he wrote songs for some of the Disney movies like Moana. But if I look at him, I read him pretty slow. A 400-page book at 6 hours and 1 minute. So therefore, 66 pages per minute. Per hour. So it all depends on the book. And I say that because if we're over here in the summary page, and I still have to fill in that little box. I have to fill in this. So this is not up to date right here. Okay. What is up to date is how many pages I have read each month up to now, and how many pages it totals for the year, what the monthly average has been per day, the daily reading average, and like right now, because we're only 8% into the month as far as my reading goal, I'm currently reading 253 pages a day. But this number right here, 253, that will change as we get through the rest of October. And then over here on this part of the spreadsheet, you have the breakdown by month, 50 in January, 45 in February, and so on. And then what Brock brilliantly does is he also includes a charts page, which is not supported by a tablet, but you can just hit no and you can still see all of the charts. And so, you think I like numbers? Is there a reason I like numbers? Yes, because they're so easily accessible by means of Brock's spreadsheet. For example, 18% of the books I have read this year have been audiobooks, whereas 81.8% of the books I have read this year have been uncorrected e-proofs or ARCs. I even think there's probably somewhere here, this is my publisher breakdown, but I'm trying to see if there was a library versus, there's probably a chart for library versus ebooks, but I'm not sure. Is this it? Yes, it's this one. Like 20%, 20.9, so 21% of the books I have read this year have been library books. 7% have been purchased. 1 has been given to me, and 76.7, which is 77. So 77% of the books I got and read this year have been library books. So this is just a quick rundown of Brock's spreadsheet, and I have added things to it that benefit me. Like I added a borrows page. So I'm tracking, I don't like inconsistencies. We have to color that in. I think it's because I added that line after the fact and it's that color. Okay. I added in, oh, I did read Code Breaker. I added in the library books that I have borrowed. And because I have added them in, I am tracking when they were due back to the library. For example, I have some books due November 6th, but look at $1 Million Ransom. I've read it even though it was due November 6th. I've already returned it. I also returned Killing Me Souffle by Jen McKinley, and I'm going to clear this because I returned it, but I might show you why. There's a specific reason why I returned that book. So that means that I still have The Dream Hotel, Our Little World, Witness 8, and those are it. I just have 3 of those on loan from Libby. For Hoopla, I had The Writer's Retreat and The Killer She Knew, but I already read those. Kindle Unlimited, I have these in my queue on Kindle Unlimited. I have a book on Audible that I'd like to read because it's also a NetGalley arc. Sounds Like Trouble by Pamela Samuel Young and Dwayne Alexander Smith is still on hold at my library. So that's something I've added to Brock's spreadsheet. I've also added in this page, which is all the arcs that I have yet to read in 2025. Now, this spreadsheet, this page could be a lot smaller because, like that, anything you see in that yellow, I have read those. So I am trying to clear up my 2025 archive before 2026. So for November, currently I have these books right here. And then for December, I only have these. And this, I don't know why it's clear. I don't know. It says it's an invalidation, but I can fix it. Okay, I know what it is because I used the spreadsheet as a page and it copied over some of the values. So a value for this is purchase gift free. So we know it's not that value, so we can ignore that. So these are my December arcs, and then I added in everything I have for 2026. And if this grows exponentially and I accumulate a large queue, I would most likely separate this by months, January of 2026 and so forth. But I won't separate this by month until Brock's spreadsheet for 2026 is available. So I just keep logging them here. And let's take, just going to try to get this. Whoops. I just want to move Lori Foster and Maisie Yates page name over here. It should be on the right. Every single arc I have in my entire spreadsheet links back to NetGalley. So if I touch Two Kinds of Stranger by Steve Kavanaugh and I tap Two Kinds of Stranger, it brings me to my NetGalley page that I have it for review. It doesn't come out until March 2026, but that's just an example of why it's blue, because I have linked it back to NetGalley. Other things I've added to Brock's spreadsheet is this is a new thing, and it's summaries, so that when I do my wrap-up videos, I'm writing little thoughts about the books. And let's see, I know that I have read another book in here, so we're going to just put a space because it was a Mindy Quigley title that I read. I know what it was. Let me just write it. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm drawing a blank. At Death's Door is that one. Oh my God. Oh, Sleeping Heavily in Pizza. So that was just missing from that summary page that I have just recently added in. I haven't been using the summary page all year, but that's the genius of spreadsheets is you can add pages, you can add text, you can add color, you can do whatever you want. Even though you're working within the framework of Brock's spreadsheet with the formulas that he designed or added into it, you can still add your own pages. So I have other pages like my video reviews, my series acquisitions, and these are my previous arcs. I have 2024, 2023, 2022, and 2021. Yes, I have a backlog, but like I said, every single one of these is linked to NetGalley, and I'm working on that. And just one other thing is I have been doing series for about, I would say, 5 years maybe. I have been tracking series, and when I say tracking, I think I have a master page. Yeah. When I started tracking series about 5 or 6 years ago, I got very, very, very color oriented, and these colors they trigger something in my brain, and I kind of came away from it a little bit. But Nicholas Sparks, like, I have read all of his books. I haven't read his newest one because it's a ghost book. Sheet 12, I don't know what that is. I may have to delete that. 2024, I didn't do well in tracking. I did read all of the private series by James Patterson, so I did use a summary page on that one. And then this one here, 2025, sheet 11, 2025, and to read in 2026, those will all be, what's the word I'm looking for? Those will all be blended together, because what I'm working on here, this sheet here, is to read in 2026. So, for example, the Ellie Alexander Bake Shop mystery book, I have read the first 7, but there's 8 to 20. There's books number 8 to book number 22. I haven't read any of the J.A. Jance, Joanna Brady books, so they're listed there. And I think I did another, I wanted to do another J.A. Jance series, which is Allie Reynolds. And of course, I haven't read any of those yet. I want to do Bree Taggart's series by Melinda Lee, which I haven't read any of those yet. So I am right now in the process of creating this series page. When this is complete, I will bring it into the series page that Brock's spreadsheet has, but I'll bring it into his 2026 spreadsheet. Yes, I think very far ahead. So I think that's it. I don't know how long this video is. It's simply a screen record, but I just wanted to whet your appetite for you NetGalley readers. And yes, I have found quite a few of you on BookTube over the last week. If you want the spreadsheet, I can send you a link. I can send you a link to Brock's channel, but Brock doesn't make videos anymore, but he does, like I said, he does update the spreadsheet. Before I end the video, I want to let you know where I got this fabulous spreadsheet. There are countless reading spreadsheets and even NetGalley spreadsheets floating around YouTube and even some of the Facebook groups. I'm not a spreadsheet designer, just a spreadsheet user, but here's Brock. That's his name. His channel is Let's Read. He no longer makes any content, but every year he updates the spreadsheet. So if I click more and you go over to the right, it says download the 2025 spreadsheet. So of course that's still available. It would be a master spreadsheet. You would save it, and then you would use the saved copy, and then you can modify the saved version. You'll never be able to modify the original version. And I think that's brilliant, because nobody should mess with anybody else's work. At the end of this year, around the 30th or the 31st, Brock generally will release the upcoming year for the spreadsheet. So at the very end of this year, he will put something here that would say download the 2026 spreadsheet. So you just look for that towards the end of the year. If you're following me, and now that I found this great BookTube community, I can give you an idea when it is released. If you want a professional walkthrough of the spreadsheet, then you want to click what's under here. Watch the full breakdown. But this spreadsheet, this full breakdown goes back 5-6 years from when he originally created it. What you see in front of you, where you see Brock holding a book in his hand, this is when he gives you a a quick rundown of what the spreadsheet is, what it does, and how it can benefit you. I'm a numbers person, always have been. If you knew me in high school, if you knew me in the years where I worked a secular job, you would know numbers is it's my sweet spot. It's what I enjoy. So I just wanted to just put this at the end of the video to allow you to know where I get the spreadsheet. I will also link this video and the current year spreadsheet in my description of this video. And I think at the very end of this year, when I do get Brock's new spreadsheet, I will make another quick video with the adaptations that I am carrying over into 2026. And as you see, I have a library page for borrows. I have my summary page. I have my series pages from a different spreadsheet, which is my spreadsheet, but I'm going to bring it into his. So I may make another video at the end of the year, but that's it for now. And I will truly say goodbye, and I will see you with my next video.